the channel. East Florida Explorer here, and happy Cemetery Sunday. This Sunday, I'm at the Lincoln Cemetery in Orange City, Florida. This is old cemetery here with a lot of veterans' graves. Old war graves here. Seen quite a few just walking in. We'll check a couple of these out. Oscar Cannon Sr., and he was in the U.S. Army. Thank you for your service. Born 1912 and passed away in 2015. May the works I've done speak for me. Just showing a couple of these right at first because there's a couple just catching my eye, and I love to get these World War I graves, people that served in the military. Much respect, you know. Isaiah Tillman, Florida, private in the U.S. Army, World War I, born in 1896, and he passed away in 1972. Morris H. Tyus is also in the U.S. Army, World War II, born in 1910 and passed away in 1966. Here's a handwritten grave, tombstone here. Ethel Smith, born in Orange City and died. You can't see the rest. And I'm kind of like in the front of the cemetery when you come in the gates. No sign, no nothing to tell you that this is the Lincoln Cemetery, except for Googling and looking at maps, finding a little information. But way back in the very back along the woodline, there's a whole bunch of older graves. I'm gonna take the long walk back over this hill underneath all these beautiful oak trees with the Spanish moss. Strange, there's no grave sites in this area, like under the oak trees. All the grave sites are way back down this hill or up over on this side in the sandy areas. Yeah, and this cemetery really could be very, very old. There's markers, just stones, really old kind of stones, kind of deteriorated over time, but they're everywhere. Stone, there's just stones. And that usually means it's super, super old. They just mark it with a stone long ago. Wow. Many spread out graves. A broken one. Patrice Roan. Looks like she was born in 1906 and passed away in 1907. And Donald A. Roan, born in 1904 and died in 1941. We will meet again. And And this cemetery has quite a few of these raised graves. Nice little family plot area. Chained in. And this was, I was saying, over here along this wood line in the back of the cemetery. There's a lot of older graves. Or at least they look older from the eye. Sometimes they're not, but here's a little grave that fell over. Okie Anna Williams, 1886 to 1912. Another veterans military grave. Lloyd James Wiggins, Florida, private in the U.S. Army. October 12th, 1889 to April 6th, 1944. And this tombstone is the one that caught my eye all the way from the front of the cemetery because it's right along the wood line. And it looks older. Lawsenia Hall, died March 28th. I'm gonna take it as a 1918. 68 years old. And Jacob Hall, gone to rest. And then from there, you kind of go up this little sand hill to another area with a couple raised graves, a couple from the 70s and the 80s. Let's check out the grave in the furthest corner of the back of the cemetery. Oh wow. And then right over here, I'm not sure, but that almost looks like the original cemetery gate. Like that would have been the entrance in. I'll have to check it out right after we look at this grave in the very corner. So he could have been the first grave in the cemetery, or she. I believe this says Mary. Mary. Oh wow, it's so hard to read. It's written in hand, just scratched in. Wow. But yeah, right over here, very interesting. See these two pillars? Yeah, and there's a gate. Look at that. Old concrete pillar. And look at that old rusted gate. Man. And then there's one there, and there's one right here. And they're separated just far enough for an older car to kind of go through. So really, I believe that's probably the original entrance in. Or exit. You never know. And you never know what was behind this cemetery at one time as well. GoPro overheat number one. Every time. Another veteran's grave. Eugene Jackson of Florida, private. He was an engineer in World War I. Born in 1892, passed away in 1942. Frank W. Taylor, and he was in the U.S. Army, World War II. Born in 1922, passed away in 1998. Thank you for your service. Wow. There's just so many veterans here. And a lot of World War II also. This would be James W. Frazier. He's a private in the U.S. Army, World War II. Born in 1926, passed away in 2001. There are so many. I'm trying not to forget anybody here. We have Naaman Taylor, and he was in the U.S. Army. This one has some pine needles in front. And Korea, the Korean War, born in 1933 and passed away in 1991. Clyde Dean Taylor, Florida, and he was in the U.S. Air Force in World War II. Born in 1926, passed away August 12th, 1961. Well, thanks for joining me here at the Lincoln Cemetery in Orange City, Florida. Happy Cemetery Sunday. Like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I do a cemetery every Sunday. And also, if you're into old bottles, dump digging, exploring state parks, history, nature, or just going for an awesome scenic cruise around Florida, subscribe to the channel. I do lots of different things. And hopefully, I'll see you guys next time.